Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. So today we're going to discuss about rules P and T in discrete mathematics. So we are talking about rules of inference, right? So in that, let us discuss about rules P and T. So what are rules P and T? So what is rule P and what is rule T? So what is rule P here? A premises may be introduced at any point in the derivation. A premise may be introduced at any point in the derivation. So we can introduce a premise at any point. So while solving the derivations, we can introduce at any point. So that's called rule P. So what about rule T? A formula S may be introduced in a derivation if S is a tautology. So what is tautology? All the values should be true. What is contradiction? All values should be false. Okay, so while rule P, a premises may be introduced at any point. So for example, at first step 1 we can introduce, if we have 10 steps, at fifth step we can introduce, or sixth step we can introduce. We can introduce the premises at any point, which is called rule P. Okay, what about rule T? A formula S may be introduced in a derivation if S is a tautology. Okay, so here T means tautology. Let us assume like that so that you can easily remember. If S is a tautology implied by any one or more of the preceding formulas in the derivation. Okay, so it can be the preceding formulas which are there upside of that derivation or at that current derivation. So it should be tautology. Okay, so coming to rule P, it can be introduced at any point. So whereas rule T, a formula S may be introduced in a derivation if S is a tautology implied by, and here one more thing is there, implied by any one or more of the preceding formulas in the derivation. So which is called as rule T. So while deriving, we can make use of this rule T and rule P, and not only that, total we have implications and as well as what to say, equivalence. So total there are implication rules as well as equivalence rules. So implication rules, there are 14 implication rules, and the equivalence rules, total there are 18 equivalence rules. Now I will write all these implication rules as well as equivalence rules. So please make a note of it so that these implication rules and equivalence rules are used to solve the problems. Okay, so now we will see implication rules, equivalence rules. Later on we can solve the problems. Okay, there are 14 implication rules and 22 equivalence rules. Okay, so first we'll see 14 implication rules. So later on we'll see 22 implication equivalence rules. Okay, so first one is I1, that is simplification rule. P and Q implies P. This is simplification rule, which is I1. Okay, so you should remember this. While solving problems, we'll simply write by rule I1 or by rule I10 or by rule I11 like that. So at the same time, equivalence rule E5 or equivalence rule E6. So you should know all these things. Okay. So I2, P and Q implies Q, which is also a simplification rule. Okay. And I3, P implies P or Q. So P implies P or Q is addition rule. And I4, Q implies P or Q, which is again an addition rule. Negation P implies P implies Q. Q will get P implies Q. I7, negation of P implies Q will get P. Negation of P implies Q will get negation Q. Okay. So we have P comma Q will get P and Q, which is conjunction rule. Negation P comma P or Q will get Q. This is disjunctive syllogism. Okay. Next P comma P implies Q, which is Q. Negation Q comma P implies Q equal to negation P, which is modest tolerance. Okay, so which is nothing but if we imply this, therefore we get this. So in this pattern you should remember. Okay, modest tolerance. So P implies R, Q implies R, we get P implies R. This is hypothetical syllogism. P or Q, P implies R, Q implies R, we get R, which is dilemma rule. So these are all 14 implication rules. You should remember these. And coming to equivalence rule, there are total 22 equivalence rules. So there is no place for me. I wrote 16 rules. So once I complete these 16, I will write remaining 22 rules. Remaining 6 rules. So E1. So E1 is negation of P double implies P. So this is double implies. We'll get which is called double negation. So negation of negation P is P. Okay. So P and Q double implies Q and P. So which is nothing but commutative law. So if you have P and Q, we'll get Q and P, which is nothing but commutative law. So P or Q is Q or P. Again commutative law. Next P and Q and R, we can write is P and Q and R, which is associative. So P and Q in brackets and R, we will get P and Q and R in brackets. So which is associative law. So P or Q or R same, just change the symbols. So P or Q or R will get P or Q or R, which is associative law. E5. E6 is P and Q and R in brackets Q and R. So P and Q and R will get P and Q or P and R. This is distributive law. So change the symbols, again distributive law. Negation of P and Q will get negation P or negation Q. So negation of P and Q will get negation P or negation Q, which is nothing but De Morgan's law. So negation of P or Q will get negation P and negation Q, vice versa. Again it's a De Morgan's law. So P or P will get P, P and P will get P, R or P and negation P will get R. P and negation P will get cancelled, will get R. So R or P will get R again. So R or P or negation P, which is nothing but true. R and negation P false. And E16 is P implies Q, which is nothing but negation P and Q. So this is E16. So remaining 6 are there. Total we have up to E22. So E17 is negation of P implies Q will get negation P or Q. P implies Q will get negation Q implies negation P. P implies Q implies R will get P implies Q implies R. Negation of P double implies Q will get P double implies negation Q. P double implies Q will get P implies Q and Q implies P. We can write like this. And final E22 is P double implies Q. We can write P and Q or negation P and negation Q. So if you remember all these 14 implication and 22 equivalence rules and two rules like rule P and rule T, so we can solve any problem. Okay. So why? Because we will apply all these rules by solving those problems. Okay. So let's see a problem so that we'll get a clear idea. So what sort of rules are we using? So we have given a problem here. Prove negation Q comma P implies Q. We should get negation P. Okay. So the given is negation Q comma P implies Q. We should have negation P. Okay. So here we have rule P, rule T, and what else? 14 implication rules and 22 equivalence rules. So you can use whatever we want, and finally we should show negation P. Okay. So the first one is let me take P implies Q. So P implies Q. So what is rule P here? We can take at any point. So we can take the premises. We can apply the premises at any point. So you can use negation Q, you can use P implies Q, whatever, it doesn't matter. So what I will write simply, rule P. Okay. So next is, so taking P implies Q, okay. So rule T, comma. So what is rule T here? You can apply by taking the previous one. So I am applying at the second position. So what is my previous value here? P implies Q. So I can use that. So rule T, comma, my previous value is 1. So I have given the numbers here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, comma. So it is P implies Q and I will use E18. Equivalence rule 18. So can you see equivalence rule E18? P implies Q is nothing but negation Q implies negation P. So E18. So what do we get? Negation Q implies negation P. Okay. Now I have negation Q here. So write negation Q. So if you write negation Q, it's nothing but rule P. So what is rule P? I can take whatever premises I want at any point. Okay. So it is nothing like I should write only at the first point. I should write only at the second position. It's not like that. You can write. You can use that at any position. So I am using negation Q. So what I will write here? Rule P. Okay. So now in order to get negation P, I will use rule T. What is rule T? While you are working at the current position, you can use the previous ones. So these are all previous ones. Okay. So I will use 2 and 3. So rule P comma 2 comma 3, and I have so negation Q tends to negation P, negation Q, and I have a rule called. So I have I11. So rule P comma 2 comma 3 and I11. So what is I11 here? P comma P tends to Q will get Q. So P comma P tends to Q. If I have P and P tends to Q, will get Q. So what do we have here? Q, the negation Q, negation Q. So what is remaining here? Negation P. So I assume that this is P tends to Q. This is P. Will get Q. So what is there in the place of Q? Negation P. So final, what is the answer we should get here? We should solve negation. So we should get negation P. So in this way, we can prove the solution using rule P, rule T, as well as the 14 rules of I rules and 22 rules of equivalence rules. Okay. So we'll see another problem so that we'll get a clear idea. So the next problem is prove that R is a valid inference from the premises. So what do we have? P tends to Q, P implies Q, Q implies R, and P. Okay. So let's take the first one. P implies Q. So if you take the first one, which is nothing but rule P. Okay. So rule P. So I can take at any position. So that's what rule P is. So what about rule T? We should take from the previous ones. So rule P, and second one I am taking P here. So I can take at any premises, right? So again P. So rule P again, right? And coming to third one, here rule T. So what is rule T? You can utilize from the previous one. So rule T comma 1 comma 2 and I11. So what is I11? P comma P tends to Q will get Q. So here we have P tends to Q, we have P. What do we get? We get Q, right? And coming to the fourth one, I have Q tends to R. Okay. So use Q tends to R. So this is rule P. So you can take at any position, right? So rule P. So again we have Q tends to R. So the fifth one is rule T comma 3 comma 4. So rule T comma 3 comma 4 and I11 again. So what is I11? P comma P tends to Q will get Q. Q comma Q tends to R will get R. So what I need to show? Prove that R is a valid inference. So we got R, right? So from this we can say that R is a valid inference. So that's the reason I am saying that please remember all these 14 implication rules and 22 equivalence rules as well as rule P and rule T. Okay, so that we can solve whatever problem they give. Okay, see the students who are watching my channel for the first time, I request you to please subscribe my channel and please share my videos to your friends and well-wishers, and please support my channel in all possible ways. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.